up and welcome back to another episode of Phoenix Wright's Attorney Trials and Tribulations. I was about to say Justice for All, this is Trials and Tribulations. In the last episode, we started cross-examining Luke at me, and I think we're kind of close to hopefully pinning him down. We just gotta prove his motive, and yeah, oh my god, I am so excited to finish this. Let's get going. So, this is all we gotta do right here, and I already know the answer to that. Naturally, it was you, Detective Atme. Do you have some sort of basis for that claim? You have been personally involved in every single NOT case, and in the last case, you recovered what was stolen, and received a jewel as your reward. A jewel? Probably the one wrapped conspicuously around your finger. That red diamond ring! That is the diamond referred to in the letter, which means that Kane Bullard wrote that letter in order to blackmail you. Ah! Order in the court, order, I say. It seems you've gone too far with your childish pranks, Mr. Wright. Uh-oh, I don't like the way you said that. Kane Bullard blackmailing Luke at me? Are you for real? Yes, I am. Nick, come on, stand up to him! Then answer me this. The blackmail letter contains the following passage. If you don't want your identity revealed to the world... Yes, it certainly does. Kane Bullard threatened to make Luke Atme's identity public knowledge. An identity he wanted to keep a secret. So just what was that identity? Atme killed Kane Bullard because he was afraid of his secret becoming known. What was the identity he wanted to keep secret? This is what it all comes down to, Nick. The identity that Luke Atme wanted to so desperately keep secret was his identity as... a blackmailer. An ace detective. But he's not MaskDeMasque. We just said that. So a blackmailer makes sense. Luke Atme was a blackmailer. Objection. Hey now, isn't that a little different from what you've been saying? You said that Kane Bullard was the one blackmailing Luke Atme. Are you saying that Atme was blackmailing someone else on top of that? You have to admit that does sound a little odd. It's not odd. It's the only thing that makes any sense. I know! Kane Bullard was blackmailing Luke Atme. But Rhonda Light was also being blackmailed by a certain someone. Okay, I was right, okay. So did you start to receive these blackmail letters starting after this incident? Yes, just a few days after the Tiramenon heist. After that, I started getting the plans in the mail. I received plans from some very kind person. Incredibly detailed plans. Detailed plans? In which case that would mean that Rhonda Light was actually MaskDeMasque. That is what we are claiming. Someone else came up with the plans and had Mr. Delight steal his targets for him. And that someone was none other than Luke Atme. Shh! Silence! Now I see. It's all becoming clear. What is? When you were in grade school, you received the same report card every year. Careless, with a tendency to jump to conclusions. Am I wrong? How did you? You say that I, Luke Atme, was blackmailing Rhonda Light, in which case I would naturally know all about his relation to MaskDeMasque. Well, yes. Rhonda Light started receiving plans from his second crime onwards, correct? Which means I learned of his identity when he committed that first crime. Good point. You certainly could have blackmailed him otherwise. In that case, let's see some hot, bitter evidence. During the first crime, how did Luke Atme know that Rhonda Light was MaskDeMasque? Hold on. Could it be in the newspaper clipping? I think I see it. See what? When you were in grade school, you received the same report card every year. Gets into lost and mischief trying to be the center of attention. What do you mean? This newspaper clipping. It has a picture of you and Rhonda Light in this guard uniform. It seems that MaskDeMasque didn't just disappear into thin air. He just took off his outfit and hid it in a bucket. Well, that sounds far too stupid to be true. Correct. With tricks like that, he couldn't fool a baby, let alone an ace detective. And that's when you figured it out, Mr. Atme. That's when you learned that under his mask, MaskDeMasque was really Rhonda Light. What the? Wasn't he supposed to be MaskDeMasque? Not only that, it looks like he wasn't even an ace detective. I can't believe it. He was just a slimy blackmailer. What a fraud, trying to pass himself off as an ace detective. Why, how dare you expose me like that? Why, I mean, I never blackmailed anyone in my life. I'm a famous and proud ace detective, and I'm also MaskDeMasque. Why can't you understand that? I'm afraid you are neither a proud thief nor an ace detective. You're a blackmailer and a murderer. That is your true identity. Why, you... How dare you even to imply you're positively depths? Why not try to do something yourselves with those big mouths of yours? You're real fools! Fools, I say! None of you can ever become married. You're just jealous! So good! Get straight to me! The detective cannot handle blabbering. Mother is so good! It's enough to make one laugh! It would seem we finally gotten to the real answer. That was quite a performance by Mr. Atme. Bailiff, please prepare yourself for Mr. Atme. Are you kidding me? You still got stuff to say? Say it instead of drinking your coffee. The hammer that strikes too fast has no time to aim. What do you mean? I'm already prepared to deliver my sentence. Allow me to say one thing. I will be the one to judge. You don't get much more in your face than that. It appears that your claws weren't quite sharp enough, Mr. Wright. Where do you... It's true that you've proven a lot of things. Things like Luke Atme was a filthy blackmailer, and that he wasn't at Lordly Taylor the night of the murder. That's right, that's why he's the one who killed Mr. But... there's still one thing you have yet to prove. What's that? Just because he wasn't at the warehouse doesn't mean he was at the murder scene. Therefore, if you can't prove that this pitiful excuse of a man was at KB security, then I don't see how a verdict can be delivered. No way! Order in the court! Well, Mr. Wright! This is it. This is the final round. I've got to prove that Atme was at Mr. Bullett's office on that night. But can you really prove that? That's long enough, Mr. Wright. I want to hear your answer. That night, Luke Atme was at KB security, and the defense... I can't prove it. Just as I thought. But if we hear more of Detective Atme's testimony... Unfortunately, that's as far as you go, Mr. Wright. What do you mean? I won't allow for any more testimony. That's what I mean. What? Have you forgotten? Luke Atme is here after we interrupted his own trial, and you have failed to prove that he committed the murder. I think it's time for this witness to return to his own trial and face his guilty verdict as MaskDeMasque. No! Well now, Sir Lawyer, it seems that love wins out in the end after all. I am the ace detective as well as MaskDeMasque. My verdict will verify that, just as Rhonda Light's will verify that he is the true murderer. I declare that with the full force of my ace detectiveness. Order in the court! That's enough deliberation over this witness. I can't believe this. At this rate, Ron is... Don't give up now, Nick! We still have tomorrow. We can look for more evidence and... By then, it'll be too late. Huh? Why? Double jeopardy. One of the basic rules of any court of law. Double jeopardy? Should a defendant be tried and found innocent in court, that defendant cannot be tried again for the same crime. This is a fundamental rule of all courts, and it applies to this witness as much as it applies to anyone else. Mr. Abney will be found guilty in a matter of minutes, guilty as MaskDeMasque, which means he will be innocent as far as the murder of Kane Bullet is concerned.
No way!
The fact that you were unable to prove Mr. Abney's guilt of that crime here means that he will never be tried again as Kane Bullet's murderer. Ah! Now there's nothing I can possibly do to win. Even if Ron is proclaimed to be innocent, the real killer, Luke Abney, will go free. You have cross-examined every statement the witness has made here today. And as long as there is no more testimony, I'm afraid I have to declare that there will be no further questioning of this witness. Are there any objections? Objection! 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 A million times! Objection, please! Ron? Then I hereby end the cross-examination of Luke Abney. Objection! Wait. Was that Mia? Is that Mia? How did you... Is it Mia? That voice. No way! Long time no see, Phoenix. Mia! This is the true power of the Quran channeling technique. I know that it's really Maya who's standing before me, but right now she's my mentor, Mia Fey. Now, let's do this. But there's nothing more we can do, Mia. Without any more testimony, I can't cross-examine. Not yet. The testimony's not over yet. What do you mean? Your Honor, just now you said something very interesting. You have cross-examined every statement the witness has made here today. Yes, that's true, but... Unfortunately, Your Honor, you're forgetting something. Earlier, after the last cross-examination, this witness made a number of remarks. Well now, Sir Lawyer, it seems that love wins out in the end after all. I am the ace detective as well as MaskDeMasque. My verdict will verify that. Just as Ron Delights will verify that he is the true murderer. I declare that with the full force of my ace detectiveness. Yes, but these comments appear to have no importance whatsoever. Very well, then we shall prove their importance via cross-examination. At any rate, as long as the witness has made these remarks, we, the defense, assert our right to question them. Is that all right with you, prosecutor? Is something the matter, Mr. Godot? Nothing. Oh, Sir Lawyer, it looks like you're one step too late. If you think such falsehoods would do anything to me, Let's hear it. Huh? It's true that the witness made some remarks. So then, let's hear this last bit of cross-examination. Mr. Godot, what are you... Very well then, Luke Abney. I'll allow the defense to cross-examine your earlier remarks. The defense would like to hear why you declare the defendant to be the true murderer. So please, give us one last bit of testimony. Phoenix, this is it. This is our absolute last chance. Yes, Chief. Last testimony. Indeed, it is true that I was not at Lorley Taylor. I had to leave to see about another vitally important job request. I had known about the date beforehand, so I had this photo readied. My brilliant deduction was what informed me that the true culprit was Ron Delight, and thanks to the key card and the wallet, it was abundantly clear that he was there. I was also able to make a deduction from the buzzer, which only sounded once. The button did not have any fingerprints on it. Why? The victim would have left prints if he sounded it, which means the killer sounded it. Mr. Delight was wearing his MaskDeMasque outfit, which is why he left no prints. And the blackmail letter? The victim likely just mistook the color of the jewel. Zavari! Therefore, all the evidence points to that poor boy. This testimony actually seems to hold up pretty well. The witness's earlier remarks do not appear to have been hastily prepared. All of his points have been explained and none of them seem to contradict anything. But of course. But how did you know about the emergency buzzer? The police investigation documents went directly through me, and I always look over all the documents. It's elementary, sir lawyer. Are you gonna make even more trouble for us now, sir lawyer? I will not allow any of your usual shenanigans, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. We cannot postpone Luke Atmey's trial any longer. This is your last chance. Hang on a sec, just one chance? Ha! It seems that the party's about to begin. Well, Phoenix, there isn't any evidence that contradicts with that testimony. So it would seem. What do you mean, so it would seem? Listen, Phoenix, pointing out contradictions doesn't always mean you have to present evidence, does it? At any rate, this is our last chance. If you can't point out a case-breaking contradiction, you lose. That's all there is to it. Cup number 17, the last cup. It seems the time has come to put an end to this trial. I have to find a fatal contradiction in this testimony, and I need to point it out without presenting evidence. Which means all I can do is find the contradictory remark and press it. Remember, you only get one chance. Oh, come on. Very well then, Mr. Wright, please begin your final cross-examination. I don't know which one it is. Okay, hold on. One chance. Indeed, it is true that I was not at Lily Taylor. Cool. I had to leave to see about another vitally important job request. I had known about the dates beforehand, so I had this photograph readied. My brilliant deduction was what informed me that the true culprit was Rhonda Light, and thanks to the key card and the wallet, it was abundantly clear that he was there. I was also able to make a deduction from the buzzer, which only sounded once. The button did not have any fingerprints on it. Why? The victim would have left prints if he sounded it, which means the killer sounded it. Mr. DeLight was wearing his mask-to-mask outfit, which is why he left no prints. And the blackmail letter, the victim likely just mistook the color of the jewel. What the hell does that mean? Zavari, therefore all the evidence points to that poor boy. Ah! Mr. Abby, about this last remark. You still don't get it, do you? Trite. This isn't the time to be pressing the witness on every little statement. I'm afraid you're the one who still doesn't get it, Mr. Godot. What? Mr. Atmey, it seems you have finally admitted that you were in the CEO's office on the night of the murder. How can you say that? Let's review your testimony, shall we, Mr. Atmey? The button did not have any fingerprints on it. Why? Mr. DeLight was wearing his mask-to-mask outfit, is that correct? Indeed, that's what I said. My deductions are absolutely foolproof. More like your deductions prove that you're a fool. I'm sorry, whatever do you mean? For some reason, I'm starting to get really thirsty. When exactly did we learn the fact that Ron DeLight was dressed as mask-to-mask when he went to the scene of the crime? That was, it was just a few hours ago, back when my sixth cup was looking at me with a cold stare. Uh-huh? Oh, did I forget to mention it before? I'm sorry, I just haven't had a chance to mention it up until now. That's right. The defendant had yet to tell anyone else this fact before this morning. Therefore, the only people who should know this are those who have been watching this trial. Do you understand now, Detective Atmey? There is no way that you should have known about that. You were in the next courtroom being tried as mask-to-mask. So then, enlighten us. Just how did you know about that piece of information? Well... Come on, this detective must have known about it. He probably had plenty of chances to find out beforehand. And it's those chances that I want to discuss next. That night, Mr. DeLight was wearing his mask-to-mask outfit. There is one, and only one way, for Detective Abby to have found that out. Only one? One way, you say? Please remember, if you will, Mr. DeLight's testimony. When I entered the office, there was a suspicious shadow there. It was at me. For a second, my client witnessed the real killer. But Mr. DeLight never saw him. There's no way to tell whether or not the real killer was Luke Atmey. It's with that statement that I'll turn this entire case on its head. Just what are you implying? Mr. Delight saw the real killer, correct? Now, if you turn that statement around, it stands to follow that the real killer had also seen Ron Delight. Impossible! Detective Adme, you saw MaskDeMasque at the murder scene that night. You saw him when you killed Kane Bullard and assaulted Ron Delight. That was the only way you could have known what Ron was wearing. It's an earthquake. Nope, it's just Adme. Take a good look, everyone. Unable to find a rival worthy of my genius, I was forced to create one by myself. Here I am, the tragic clown. That's the same line you gave yesterday. But I think there's a little more meaning behind it this time. What an awfully complicated incident. Kane Bullard was blackmailing Luke Adme, who was in turn blackmailing Ron Delight. And upon killing his blackmailer, Luke Adme tried to frame Ron Delight. He then claimed to be guilty as MaskDeMasque in order to escape his true crime. And to that end, he came up with this plan, to use the double jeopardy rule when making his alibi. At any rate, it would seem we finally found the truth. Excuse me? I came perilously close to besmirching the record of an innocent young man, besmirching him with the title of murderer. Don't ignore me! Oh, I didn't realize you were there. Why wouldn't he be? About the verdict. I know, you never committed any murder. That's right, I'm so glad you understand that, but I really am Master Mask! Huh? So, thanks to that trial yesterday, I'm innocent now, right? What was it you said? Double jeopardy? Now that you mention it, I've been careless. Careless? What do you think, Mia? As the defendant says, the rule of double jeopardy is absolute. A defendant can never be tried twice for a crime in which he was once found innocent. Then, MaskDeMasque is really innocent? For now. It would seem so. For now? Ron, please don't ever get yourself in trouble again. Boy, this is really lucky. Wait, that isn't so good after all. You see, the thing is, I still am MaskDeMasque after all. October 14th, 3:35 p.m., District Court, Defendant Lobby number 4. You did it, Nick. Thanks, Mia. It's been a long time, hasn't it? Yeah, it's because Maya doesn't call on me much these days. Oh? I'm just joking, Phoenix. Don't take everything so seriously. But on the other hand, Maya, she seems kind of lost these days. You mean about becoming the master of the crime channeling school? Becoming the master means saying goodbye to our mother. You mean Misty Faye? Watch over her, will you, Phoenix? Of course. Well then, see you around. Mia. Oh, Mr. Wright! I don't know what to say. Congratulations, Mr. Delight. Thank you so much. No, wait. Nothing really matters anymore, though, now that all of this has happened. Come on, just be happy already! Maya. You've been cleared of the murder charges and got off as MaskDeMasque to boot. But in exchange, I lost everything. Huh? What do you mean? Stealing security information from KB Security, becoming MaskDeMasque? I did it all for one reason. For her. You mean your wife, Desiree? She hates criminals more than anything. Come to think of it, she was once held hostage by some robbers, wasn't she? She always said how she hated sneaky criminals. I knew that, but once I got fired from KB Security and lost all the money I had, she wouldn't have any reason to stay with me. I thought she would leave me for sure. So that's why you became MaskDeMasque? Yes, but it's all over now. A broken bow can never be put back together. That's not true, right, Nick? Right. Really? Can things go back to the way we were? You'll be fine, and Nick can prove it. I can? I kind of wish you would check with me first. Mr. Delight, even if a bowl is broken, there's always a way to put it back together. The sacred urn. Desi was the one who found this. Desiree, your wife. She's always believed in you, Ron. That's why you'll be fine. You don't have to worry about anything. There you are. Miss Delight. You did it, Ronnie. You're innocent. I'm so happy. Thank you. I appreciate that. But, I suppose you don't want anything to do with me, do you? Ronnie, why didn't you talk to me about what was going on? I had no idea you quit KB security. I never imagined that you were really MaskDeMasque either. Miss Delight, what are you going to do now that you know? You're not going to really leave him, are you? Come on, it's obvious, isn't it? How could I ever let such a wonderful man like him get away? After all, my bike's really fast, so fast that there's no way he could ever get away. But didn't you say that you hated criminals? Oh, I only hate people who act all cowardly and sneaky. Like the detective. I see. My Ronnie went and declared his crimes before he committed them like a man. I just love a man who's so chivalrous. Chivalrous? I knew I was right about you. Every day I spend with you is filled with thrills and excitement. Desi. Desiree, you really do love Ron, don't you? Nicky boy. Yes? I'm really glad I asked you to defend my Ronnie. Thank you so much. I'll never forget what you've done for us. Oh, well, take care of yourself. You too, Nicky boy. I can feel my face going red. Mr. Nick! Oh, no. Talk about bad timing. Mr. Nick, how could you? With another man's wife in front of Mystic Mud! No, you've got it all wrong! I'll never forgive you, ever! Ow. So just as the case came to a close, so too did my consciousness. Oh my god! My consciousness? Pearl knocked me unconscious! Here's a perfect example of one that was put back together, even better than before. That's really cute, though. But that little girl knocked me unconscious, what the frick? Recipe for Turnabout. Alright. So we have finished one of my favorite cases. And now we are going to be going into Recipe for Turnabout, so join me for that next time. That is it for this episode. Roll the end card. Objection! You haven't hit like and subscribe yet. Hold it! You forgot to ring the bell to get notified whenever I upload. Take that! Click here to watch more of my videos. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye-bye!